What is achieved in industrialized countries, mostly with considerable high technical effort, is in developing countries and in emerging economies still in its infancy: waste management. The problem in many emerging and third world countries of this world is a waste crisis that impacts extremely negatively on the environment. In addition, the recycling of waste is still in its infant stages, and a huge amount of valuable resources are wasted instead of being utilized. People are suffering under unreasonable conditions as they live close to dump sites. The impact on the climate through man-made emissions of greenhouse gases, especially methane, are enormous, whereas the loss of valuable resources amplifies generation of CO2 emissions related to extraction and transformation of primary resources. Threats posed to Mother Earth increase with the ongoing population growth. As we contaminate water in rivers at one site, we may have to live in adjacent places with increasing scarcity of drinking water. Furthermore, the once breathtaking and magnificent scenery is violently threatened by piles of garbage and other environmental sins. This film shows ways of improving the situation. The German Technical Corporation and the German Development Service, various development interventions were agreed on with the Philippines to find appropriate solution in model municipalities and to realize appropriate solutions. The project manager of the GTZ for the Philippines, Dr. Johannes Paul.
The German Technical Corporation was asked in the year 2000 by the Philippine government in an official mission to support the new Republic Act 903, that's the waste management law released, which basically has all components to establish a new waste management system.
In Bayawan, a medium-sized city with more than 100,000 inhabitants, it has been recognized that with the increasing waste generation, new waste management systems and solutions are needed to tackle the problem, as the responsible engineer explains at the former local waste disposal site.
This is our open dam, semi-open, semi-closed. The problem that we are trying to see right now with this project is the contamination of underground water, because there are in this area there are water sources also there. We have some wells nearby, so during the rain leachate will travel, and that's why the city is very afraid. Of course, we have to protect the health of our constituents.
The local government in Bayawan City, with the support of GTZ and DED, has recently completed a new waste management centre, which will certainly be a showcase for many other municipalities. The new waste processing facility will allow the increase of waste diversions and material recovery considerably, and will provide a suited solution to dispose of residual waste also. The new landfill in Bayawan technically reaches out to European standards in many ways. The landfill construction, leachate draining and treatment systems, as well as support facilities, are exemplary and were developed jointly with know-how inputs from the experts of the GTZ and DED. Landfills are only a temporary solution, whereas the recovery of valuable resources is a long-term target in modern waste management. The city of San Carlos, which developed and implemented a unique, appropriate eco-center with comparable, simple but efficient solutions. The manager of the eco-center describes the plant.
So this is the eco-center. So we first constructed this perimeter fence. We fenced this one to prohibit any scavengers or unauthorized person entering into the site. And then we have that office building as our entrance control. That, as you can see, it is elevated. It was designed in such a way that whenever there's a waste vehicle coming, the personnel inside the building can clearly check the amount or quality of waste being delivered by the truck before it goes to this MRF. So this is the MRF, or the materials recovery facilities. This is the heart of the eco center because this is where the lifespan of our sanitary landfill depends. So this MRF is divided into two sections. We have the loading area for the non-biodegradable and then the loading area for the biodegradable. For our biodegradable, it will be shredded and then it will be transported using our carabao to minimize the what we call the maintenance cost. It will be brought to this windrow composting area. Which we leave it for a few weeks, and then after maturing we will sieve it. The sieve materials are already our final product, which we are selling it for 2 pesos per kilo. And then to enhance further our compost product, some of it will be fed to the worms. We also have this vermicomposting area.
It's my home animal, I say.
This is the unloading area for the non-biodegradable. It will be sorted manually. You can see there's a segregators. They will separate recyclables, the sandbags, and then the residuals. So we are making sure that only residual waste will go to the sanitary landfill. So that is our sanitary landfill. As you can see, it's only purely residual waste. So that is a 6,600 square meter sanitary landfill. We constructed the first cell only. We are planning to construct 3 cells. We are planning to construct a 2-hectare sanitary landfill. So right now we are constructing only 6,600 square meter sanitary landfill.
For most emerging countries, tourism is considered as promising an economic opportunity, but it is of course of paramount importance to safeguard such development with supporting environmental management measures in order to protect natural beauty and the environment. A small compass project on the beautiful holiday destination island Guimaras demonstrates how to increase awareness and acceptance of residents and how to change old and unsound habits to modern waste management systems with community participation. Here, a model composting project and community awareness and information center, double practices are demonstrated to raise awareness for waste avoidance and recycling, especially to teach the younger generation. With the compost produced at this small compost facility, a garden centre in Buena Vista is supplied. This garden centre shows how the country could contribute to protect and restore overwhelmingly beautiful plant diversity of this tropical region. However, as one travels, we very often observe the contradictory, such as waste deposited along roadsides or in waterways or mangroves, which threaten the natural system and the beautiful scenery. The examples of San Carlos and Bayawan are certainly not sufficient to tackle garbage problems as large cities face them, especially at their waste disposal sites. In Metro Iloilo, a fast-growing urban centre with soon-to-be 1 million inhabitants, and certainly not in the megacity Manila with nearly 20 million inhabitants, more efficient solutions need to be provided. The changing awareness of the public regarding waste collection and segregation and recycling starts to develop in various projects. With the support of GTZ, the local administration in Iloilo developed a new waste management concept and started to implement various enhancement measures, especially to optimize their landfill on an area comprising of 21 hectares. Further steps are in preparation.
We are now in Calahunan Dam site in Iloilo City, Philippines. It is now a controlled dump site. We are now in a transition period for the preparation of sanitary landfill here in Iloilo City. We are now accepting 160 tons of garbage coming from downtown area. So we are now constructing and operating 2 MRFs, the Material Recovery Facility, which operates and composed of 60 organized waste pickers to sort the incoming garbage or waste.
Although this may sound promising, the transition phase to establish an appropriate waste management, of course, needs some time and much effort. But one can already see that awareness is growing for an improved waste management. To support the envisioned local changes step by step, and to especially protect women and children from all the threats related to waste picking at the dump site, women who previously worked as waste pickers now recycle soft drink packages, newspapers and other materials into beautiful products which are sold through partners. These women are supported by 2 social workers from the city government.
Well, the people here right now working at the shop were formerly waste pickers, scavenging in the dump site with the 160 tons of waste being dumped by the city residents. And with the closing of the dump site, the city government has to provide or find alternative livelihood for them. And one is the making of these bags with the help of our partners, our friends at the GTZ. Not anymore working at the open dump, scavenging at those mixed residual waste being dumped by the city residents.
The Philippines is an island country of unique variety and beauty. Contrasts dominate the country, urban and rural, rich and poor. In the 7,100 islands, more than 1,600 scattered communities are located, which are home to nearly 90 million people. Friendly and optimistic people, beautiful tropical sceneries and beaches, wild rivers, waterfalls and rainforests. At the transition to a functioning modern society, more waste is produced. If this waste is not processed in the proper way, it poses a major threat to the environment, people and climate, a growing global concern. But still, on many places of our planet, environmental awareness is too low, as underlined by improperly disposed of garbage. But awareness for this problem and the issues behind is growing, and legislation proposed by governments emerge rapidly also in the Philippines.
So the German government offered to establish good practices. We of course cannot help all the 1,600 municipalities and cities, but we offered to work with 15 model cities and municipalities just to show how could we now provide better practices. And we hope that after the project, these samples will be replicated, will be transferred to other communities by our Philippine partners.
The manager of the landfill in Iloilo, together with a group of Filipino waste experts, visited Germany in 2009 and were trained by CREED, the Center for Research, Education and Demonstration in Waste Management in Germany, where they have witnessed what is currently technically feasible and desirable.
There were some frustrations for me because we are just on the starting year of our transition period, where in Germany there is already existence of sanitary landfill, which is I think 20 years back, and I'm frustrated because of some of the technologies and techniques are already studied to be obsolete. So definitely it's a waste of money if we will still implement it here. So one of my suggestions for the technical working group is to consider some of the areas in which I have studied there in the 3-week training in Germany.
Wir verfolgen mit CREED 3 Ziele. We follow three objectives. We share knowledge, technologies, and introduce transfer technologies we have tested.
Many industrial countries and also Germany have developed highly effective waste management systems over the last 20 years. This has created a recycling economy which is based on the assumption that waste is a resource. This is not an approach out of idealism, but provides a win-win situation and benefits for all involved stakeholders and even earns money in various ways. The capacity of the atmosphere for greenhouse gases, shown here as a trough, should not exceed 350 parts per million. The Earth is not able to transform the amount we produce. The tank is filled gradually and will overflow at about 450 parts per million. The result is extreme climate warming. The ozone layer is increasingly porous, ultraviolet rays enter the atmosphere, glaciers continue to melt, sea levels rise, desertation will spread, storms, floods, and other climate disaster will become common reality. Hence, it is crucial to utilize every opportunity to reduce greenhouse gases emission into the atmosphere. The pollutants released by wrong waste management globally is by far greater than previously thought, states Mr. Pfaff Simonite as head of the waste management section of the German Bank for Reconstruction.
Wenn man das ökobilanziell betrachtet und die ganzen Vorketten,
if one considers the life cycle assessment and potential savings related to the substitution of raw materials by secondary raw materials out of the waste stream, as well as related savings on energy and cost for environmental impacts of waste disposal, we conclude that about 10 to 15 greenhouse gas reduction could be availed by optimizing waste management systems. This is an unexpected high dimension, alone from the waste management sector, an entirely different magnitude. And this is a very significant message, foremost for all decision makers.
Die wir in Entwicklungszusammenarbeit verfolgen, und deswegen ist es wichtig, dass wir es auch denen erzählen, die darüber zu entscheiden haben.
Nowadays, waste collection gathers large amounts of organic materials, but also other materials, such as plastic. Unfortunately, most of them still end up somewhere in a landfill and hence cannot be reutilized. This is a waste of resources and results in pollution of water and environment and contributes severely to climate change by generating extremely harmful methane gas into the atmosphere. Futuristic waste management intends to provide efficient and modern waste management technologies. The awareness that waste is a recyclable material that can provide alternative raw materials and renewable energy. Recycling is an excellent option and vision in the future. Plastic recycling will even contribute to produce the much needed oil. Waste contains significant values from which we can achieve real benefits for both the wallet and the environment. The development from once waste disposal sites to modern waste recovery and processing plants reflects the detailed and desired value chains. Visible in many locations in Europe, Polsche Heide in Minden has developed from a once landfill into a profitable waste management and recycling centre. Consequently, the waste input into the landfill diminishes gradually, and lately only very small amounts of non-organic waste residues are forwarded for waste disposal. In Vechta, a relatively simple designed biogas plant was established, which produces biogas out of solid organic waste and supplies the generated energy to a cogeneration plant, producing electricity and heat. Surplus power is fed into the net against an appropriate remuneration.
The
installation of such technologies in emerging countries is certainly needed, as many raw materials are becoming increasingly scarce. Costs for phosphate, fertilizer for example, have tripled in price in recent years. Such valuable materials are contained in organic waste and need to be recovered in developing countries to safeguard development, whereas increasing population growth further amplifies the demand for food production. Therefore, these technologies provide excellent options for emerging economies.
So far, the recycling of plastic waste is mostly solved by power plants and cement factories. In the near future, even better solutions for plastic recycling are in reach. There are first pilot plants for the direct recovery of oil fractions contained in plastic waste. This technique would be a very welcome solution to recycle plastic waste and to substitute fossil fuels likewise. A further example of imaginative and yet simple recycling is a technology developed in Germany, a small and affordable pellet making machine which can utilize various waste materials such as tree bark, sawdust, also coconut and sugarcane residue used to produce pellets as an alternative fuel. These techniques can be directly seen to enable profits, as the manager of GVOA, engineer Burkhard Schulte, explains.
Wie wir aus eigenen Erfahrungen alle wissen, wird alles irgendwann zu Abfall.
Our experience proves that most products will eventually become waste. We need to use technologies which allow all waste to be recycled. The techniques are available and utilized and can be used in other countries. We need to use technologies which allow all waste to be recycled. The techniques are available and utilized and can be used in other countries. We first need to promote these technology options and to integrate them into future development concepts, since all raw materials follow the world market trends. It will soon be possible to earn from the waste treatment, also in developing countries, instead of substituting waste disposal solutions by public coffers. Finally, we may even pay money to the waste producers for their waste, and if this can be availed, we have solved the problem worldwide from my point of view.
Für seinen Abfall noch Geld zu zahlen, dann haben wir das Problem weltweit wirklich gelöst.
But how can we install this vision so that political decision makers and people living in developing countries realize the great potentials and benefits of waste separation, waste sorting and waste recycling for them? By showing best practices and successful examples of modern waste management which demonstrate that waste is a valuable source, which by using the right treatment can even provide multifold benefits, not only for themselves and for the environment, but even as a direct profit in the form of monetary surpluses. For a better climate, a beautiful livable environment, for a better future and especially also for the children, the optimization of waste management and waste recycling is a win for everyone. That is the message. Let's use our imagination, not the trash can.